Alvin Kamara was not pleased at the suggestion on Sunday that the NFL owners are expected to expand the regular season to 17 games this week. If that was news to Alvin Kamara, what's he been doing the last 3 or 4 months? I was stunned yesterday that Shefty tweet was treated as news. Anyone who's been paying attention knows it's going to 17. That was a done deal 3 months ago. It was already clear. Peter King wrote about it several weeks ago, what the formula is going to be for the 17th game, how it's all going to work. It's a done deal. But for a lot of these players, now that they're waking up to it, Chris, they're not going to be happy with it. And a lot of them voted against the CBA from 2020 that gave the NFL the power to move to 17 games. But we all knew this was coming. And we're going to hear, just like with Thursday Night Football, for several years, there were complaints, and eventually they reached acceptance. This is just the way it is. And I think that's what's going to happen here. There's going to be complaints about 17 games, and then at some point down the line, there'll be enough players in the NFL who knew coming in they were signing up for 17 games that they won't complain anymore.
Yeah. No, I mean, first off, I think players in general, they don't pay it. They hear these things during the year, leading up to last season and all that, but they don't really – no, they're not in the weeds like you and me, especially with this specific type stuff sometimes, to where they don't know how real it's getting. But again, it speaks to just the bigger parts of the union a little bit and not being able to get all on the same page and understand maybe all the elements of what you're voting for and doing things like that all together. I'm not a big fan of it. I don't want 17 games. I don't. I don't. And again, I think it's a little hypocritical in the fact that we're talking about another game and the player safety issues and all of that too. But it is what it is. And you're right. We've known it's coming for a long time, and it's been talked about really for like the last 2 years where we thought it's going to happen at some point in the next 2 to 3 years.
But as it relates to player safety, and I know that there could be greater long-term consequences, but short-term, the teams, I assume, will be responsible when it comes to how much they work guys in training camp and in practice and how much they parse out reps during games that count, how much they use guys in the preseason. They want to protect their investments.
Yeah.
Short-term.
Right.
Long-term is a different issue. But short-term health and safety, it's not like you're going to treat these guys like rental cars and drive them into a ditch. They still have reason to keep their players healthy enough.
I get it.
So they're available when the playoffs roll around.
Yeah, I know, but but they still need them to get to the playoffs. So it's not going to be treated any different. It's going to be like, hey, we got another game. Go smash your head in the wall, okay? That's what you paid to do. What I don't like is just a little bit of like well, I hear this from, we took a preseason game away and added like that was apples to apples. Oh, okay, right. You mean you took away the preseason game for Alvin Kamara where he was going to play 3 snaps and just do warm-ups? And now, you gave him the other game and now he's going to have 55 snaps of running into a middle linebacker at 4-4 each of them? Oh, great, that's good. That was an equal swap, no problem. So, yes, I have an issue with that too. Not necessarily with like the short-term health too either, Mike. It's just like we've talked about in the past. It's, another game to get hurt and maybe not be able to play the next year and get all the money you might get. It might take away another year of your career, all that after a few years of 17-game seasons. There's those aspects, I think, that don't get talked about in this conversation enough.
I agree with you completely, but it's the reality.
Yeah.
And the supply of potential NFL players continues to far outweigh the demand. And anyone who says no, they'll be replaced by someone who says yes. That's just the way it's going. And one of the most overlooked realities of the new TV deals, the ability of the NFL to pull the plug on all of them after 7 years. I think that 7 years is where we need to watch the potential for 18 games when it's time to shop the deals again, because I firmly believe the NFL will exercise its right to pull the plugs and go back to the market and make more money. That's when I think we need to watch for an 18th game, because they still want an 18th game. More inventory. As the gambling spreads and the money goes up, you increase inventory. And once they've increased inventory as far as they can to 18, Chris, that's when expansion is going to start to be a subject for the NFL. And with all these young quarterbacks now who are getting it done, that's the way the ball's moving. And really, expansion makes more sense than increasing the regular season. More jobs, more teams, same number of total games. I would rather see expansion of the league than expansion of the regular season.
You would. You'd rather see expansion. I got to think about that one for sure. I'm not sure if I would.
5 years ago, I would have said no way. But look at how they're bringing these quarterbacks out of college. They're integrating them immediately and how effective they are. We don't have the problem that we had 5 years ago where there weren't enough bad quarterbacks to go around. Now there's enough good quarterbacks to go around.
No, I think that's real too. And you're right, there's enough good players to go around and guys that are backups and things that it could be league starters and that yeah, we probably could handle another team or two in the NFL for sure.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.